Bathroom renovations are expensive. Did you know that you could actually expect to spend about $24,000 just for like a middle of the road bathroom upgrade? And if you are upgrading a primary bathroom and changing the footprint, the cost goes up even more. If you watch a lot of HGTV or follow a lot of design influencers like we all do, you might think that the only way to transform a dated bathroom is to rip it down to the studs and spend about $30,000 in the process, but I'm here to tell you that is not true. In today's video, we're going to talk about several ways to take a dated bathroom and turn it into something you love on a very small budget. Hi everyone, if you're new here, I'm Ashley. I'm from the blog homelikeyoumeanit.com. I'm a virtual paint color consultant and decorator, and my job is to help you design a home that you love. So let's get into today's video. So let's talk about how to tackle these dated bathrooms systematically. We're gonna go step by step. The first thing we're gonna talk about is flooring. If you have a bathroom that was built in the 70s, 80s, 90s, you are likely dealing with flooring that you absolutely hate. Don't worry, there are so many ways to creatively tackle this problem. Now, when you are working within the confines of a small budget, what you need to remember is that you need to work with what you've already got. There's going to be no changing the footprint. We're going to keep existing finishes like our tile, our countertop, those things. We're just going to work to disguise or enhance those. With your bathroom floors, the first thing you can do is to clean your grout. When we moved into our house about 5 years ago, I hated all of the bathrooms in the house. The first thing I did with our kids' bath was to tackle the dirty, disgusting grout. You can see in these pictures, it went from brown, which I don't think it had ever been cleaned, to almost white. What I like to do to clean these, it's very simple. You just take like half a cup of baking soda, you pour hydrogen peroxide in there to kind of make a paste, and then you just get an old toothbrush and you dip that in the paste and you just kind of go to work. It is so satisfying, it works really well. And then you can finish off this process with a grout pen to make the grout even whiter and cleaner and brighter, or whatever color your original grout was. So say you've tackled the grout, it's now clean, it looks so much better, but you still don't like the tile, it's not your style. So you might be wondering if you can paint your tile, and the answer is yes, you absolutely can. There are kits for this. They're very inexpensive, very DIY friendly. The paint does hold up, and the first step in painting your tile is to clean your grout, so you've already done that. But painting your flooring is an absolutely easy, budget-friendly thing to do to disguise flooring that you don't like. Now, side note, if you have tile in your shower surround that you don't like, there's also paint for that. You just need to buy the right kit. And again, that's very DIY friendly. But my friends, we can get rid of all that brown, dated tile that we don't like and turn it into something that we love. Now, beyond just painting your bathroom a solid color, you can also stencil your bathroom floors. This is a lot more work, but it has been done many times. I personally haven't done this, but I have seen many bloggers do this, and I love how it turns out. It's just a fun pop of color and a really creative way to hide floors that you don't like. Now, another very popular thing to do with dated floors is to use that peel and stick tile. I'm gonna caution you against this. Chris Loves Julia, if you follow them, I'm sure you do, they're super talented. They have done peel and stick tile floors before in their bathroom, and they actually did like a how is it doing now type post. It only took about 5 months before the peel and stick tiles started to peel up, and all I can think about is all the hair and the dirt and just the nastiness that comes with, you know, debris and dirt in the bathroom just under those peel and stick tiles. This is a solution that I would absolutely pass on. It's way too time intensive for it to only last a few months. So this is not something I would look into. Rather than peel and stick, I'm gonna look into stenciling or just painting my tile floors. What about luxury vinyl plank? This is a material that is very popular for bathrooms. A lot of home influencers are doing this. There's 2 ways to do it. One is the easy way. You can install LVP right over existing tile. You can also demo your tile and install LVP like that. That to me is a better look. However, it's way more time intensive. You might need to hire someone to do the demo. but those are your options there, and you can see just how easy it is to cover that floor. I like LVP because it's really budget friendly, and it's also pretty easy. If you're a new DIYer, this is something that you could tackle just by watching a few YouTube videos. Okay, the last idea, this is to embrace the floor that you have. You're not gonna paint. You don't wanna do that. You don't wanna deal with having to touch up the paint years down the road. We're gonna decorate and make this space look like it was always meant to be there. So we're going to embrace the floor. The first thing we're gonna do is take note of the floor. If you have watched any of my other videos, you know that your paint, your wall color must relate to the fixed elements and the finishes in your room. Because the floor is like this orange beige travertine, that's exactly what we're gonna do on the walls. We're gonna pick a very pale beige with a slight orange undertone to make the floors look like they were intentional. We always, that's the type of flooring we wanted to install today. Then the next step is to choose a piece of artwork that is our starting point in terms of decorating. If you are stuck in a room and you don't know where to start, choose an inspiration piece. In this case, it's the artwork. It's got pretty blues, a little bit of that seafoam green. It's got some coral. So we're going to pull out and repeat that coral with our towels and our hand towel. We're going to repeat that pretty bluish green tone in our shower curtain. We're also going to pull out one of the blue-green, seafoam green tones and put that on our vanity cabinet. So our cabinet's gonna look brand new. We're going to replace the knobs and pulls on our cabinets. And guys, this is gonna make the bathroom look, when you replace knobs and pulls and paint your vanity, it's almost like, why did you even need to renovate in the first place? We're going to update our lighting, which is so important in terms of updating your space for less. If you are into DIY projects, I would suggest framing this bathroom mirror. Then we're going to pick a pretty rug that encompasses all of those colors that we've chosen for the room, pulls them all together, and voila, you have a gorgeous bathroom that you can live with for years to come. And all you did was put a little paint on the walls, paint that vanity, and decorate the space. Now, if this is something you're interested in, but you have no idea where to start, I do offer virtual consultation packages where I help you pick a perfect paint color for your space, pick a paint color for your vanity, decorate, source all of those items. If this is something you're interested in, make sure to check out the link in the description below. Okay, on to countertops. Countertops are also a huge struggle, especially those dated yellow countertops or just those busy granite. They're a struggle. So I know what you're thinking. Can paint solve this conundrum? Yes, paint can. Look at how beautiful these faux marble countertops in this budget bathroom reno turned out. Now this homeowner started with these yellow dated cultured marble countertops. Wasn't her taste. She wanted that timeless look of marble. Now, this kit is a little bit more than beginner DIY. You have to be somewhat of an artist because you do need to kind of draw that natural veining, but there are so many tutorials on YouTube that you can take advantage of. I love this look. Do I think that this is something that you're gonna wanna see in your bathroom 10 years down the road? Probably not. This is probably more of a band-aid if you've got a powder room or a hall bath that you don't want to tackle right now, but you just can't stand to look at those countertops any longer. This is a great solution that can last for 3 to 5 years before you kind of invest a little bit more in the space. Did you know you could create a countertop out of plywood? You absolutely can. It's fairly DIY friendly. That's exactly what Erica did in this project, where she took a dated countertop, transformed it by just some plywood, a lot of stain, a lot of poly. This is a great solution to taking something you don't like, making it your own. She added that basin sink, which is more DIY friendly than just kind of using your existing sink. Now, is this a project that is gonna look good 10 years from now? Probably not. You're probably gonna have some water damage on the countertop itself. So just keep in mind, this is a project that does kind of have an expiration date in terms of longevity. However, if you're wanting to kind of save up for a bathroom remodel or buying your own vanity, this is a great band-aid. Have the space looking much better. Lastly, and this This option is not as budget friendly as some of the others, but if your cabinet boxes are in good shape, but you cannot stand that countertop anymore, look into using remnants from a slab yard. That is gonna save you a good bit of money as opposed to buying completely new. So that's another option for you. Moving on to vanity cabinets. Now, just like with every other issue in the bathroom that's stated, paint is going to be your friend here. And paint is the way to easily transform outdated vanity cabinets. Now, there is a right way to do this and a wrong way to do this. You don't want your paint shipping just 6 months after you put it in. So make sure you take your time to do your homework and research the proper way to prepare your cabinets for paint. But this is a great solution. And honestly, if you do this correctly, this will buy you a lot of time. Another thing that completely changes the look of your vanity cabinet is to update those knobs and pulls. I am a huge fan of the Top Knobs brand on Amazon. They're a little bit more higher end, but when you're only buying 3 or 4 or 5 for your vanity, it's really not that expensive and it completely elevates the look of your bathroom. Now, if you like the style of knobs and pulls on your vanity already, you want to try and save a little bit of money, you can use that rub and buff product, which is awesome. Like say you have just kind of a gross pewter color that you don't like, you want to transform it into a pretty brass looking color. There is a product for that. Rub and buff is great. Now again, this is more of a band-aid. This is not going to hold up for years and years and years. I would not use rub and buff on plumbing fixtures. I've seen bloggers, DIY influencers do this. It's not going to hold up. Knobs and pulls, yes, I think you can retouch them. It's a great budget-friendly solution to transform those knobs and pulls very inexpensively. Another solution, and this mostly works for powder rooms because you do need more storage in hall baths and primary baths. If you've got just this outdated vanity cabinet, you know, you simply must replace it. A pretty inexpensive way to do that is to use a pedestal sink. Now this really doesn't come with too much storage, so again, that's why I suggested it for a powder room. But pedestal sinks, you can find them for like $200 to $400. Not bad at all. You can find some pretty inexpensive hardware to go with it. So that is a much cheaper solution than going with a vanity cabinet, which is going to run you probably $1,000 or more. Add some inexpensive board and batten or beadboard behind your pedestal sink, and you have got a brand new transformed space for less. Okay, now this is kind of its category of its own. So many of us are living with those dated shell sinks. What was with all the seashell sinks? The solution I have for this, because again, unless you're gonna get a new vanity, you know, that's something that is hard to DIY out of. The solution for this is to embrace it. There are so many scalloped items on the market today. There's your scalloped floor mat, towels, and even shower curtain. You can make this look like it was an intentional choice that just kind of, you know, you've got that spa, beachy type theme in your bathroom. Make it look intentional, embrace it, and I promise you won't hate it as much. Now, what about tubs that have seen better days, right? Yes, you can also paint those. You can do reglazing on a tub. Now, you can pay someone about $300 to $500 to have it professionally reglazed, or you can buy a kit and do it yourself. I've seen this done many times. It turns out really well. I'm not quite sure about the longevity of this project. I think, again, this might be a good Band-Aid solution, could last you 5 years before you need to replace, but tubs are expensive. They're expensive to buy and they're expensive to pay a plumber to put in. So if you've got a tub that's in fairly good shape, it's just dated yellow, I suggest reglazing it yourself first. What about those huge garden tubs that take up so much space and they're such an eyesore? Is there a way that you can get rid of those for less? No, there really isn't. You really have to embrace them. When you start talking about demoing that entire space and adding a freestanding tub, it really gets expensive. Look at what this couple did right here. In just a weekend, they retiled the surround of their garden tub and they added wooden trim to kind of save money, give it more of an elevated look. I love how this turned out. Now, I do want to mention a caveat. Wood and water really don't mix. I think this is fine for a bathroom where adults are using this. If you've got small little children and they love to splash, This is probably not going to be a solution for you. You're going to maybe have to retile the entire thing, but still, I think that you can make this look nice, look classic, and up to date with just a new inexpensive tile around the tub rather than ripping it all out, paying a plumber to come and install a freestanding tub, and those are expensive too. So just think about that. Now, what about those dated shower doors that have soap scum on them that have been caked on for forever, have dated brass hardware? What's the budget solution there? And the easiest thing to do here is simply remove them and add a really pretty shower curtain in its place. Okay, let's move on to my favorite part, which is going to be decorating. How can you decorate a dated bathroom to make it look elevated and sophisticated? And I have some tips for you today. Now, I would be remiss if I did not mention paint first. Paint is always your friend. Like we mentioned earlier in that bathroom where we're gonna keep the floors, the first thing to do is to choose a paint color that actually relates to what is in your space. So many people are rushing to paint everything that stark white today. If you've got orangey brown travertine floors like we saw in the bathroom earlier, you can't do that. It's gonna make your bathroom look super dated and out of place. You need to work with what you've got when you're dealing with paint colors, but paint your walls and your vanity, and I promise you most of your bathroom woes are gonna be long gone. Now, the second thing I wanna talk to you about is to hang a shower curtain very high, much higher than you think you should. Just like with curtains, when we say hang them high, hang them right at the ceiling. With shower curtains, the higher the better. And then if you want to even elevate the look even more, I love the look of using 2 shower curtains, or you can even use curtains and then line them with shower curtain liner. You don't have to be limited by just using shower curtains. You can oftentimes find prettier curtains and put 2 of them, and you've got a really pretty elevated look there. I'm always going to recommend changing out your mirror, changing out your light fixtures, changing out your plumbing fixtures if you can, and then updating your knobs and pulls. That alone with some paint, you're going to be well on your way to a bathroom that looks like you spent thousands of dollars. Another very, very inexpensive thing to do, but looks so high-end if you do it yourself, is to do some trim work. We did this in our powder room. We added some simple beadboard. That is a very easy DIY thing to do. If you're new to DIY, I would suggest trying beadboard first. It elevates the look of your space so quickly, and then you don't have to spend a ton decorating because you're gonna paint that beadboard a pretty color, or you're gonna paint the wall above the beadboard a pretty color. Either way, trim work is fairly easy and elevates the look of your space so quickly. The last tip that I have for you is to come up with a color scheme for your bathroom when you are decorating. Use a rug or use an artwork or maybe even a pretty shower curtain as a jumping off point, and repeat those colors throughout the room for a cohesive look. That's all I have for you today. I hope you are inspired to take a dated bathroom and make it your own with a very small budget. Now, hopefully you see that that is something realistically that you can do and achieve. If you like this video, make sure to hit subscribe and follow along as I release more videos like this to help you transform your home into something you love.